right, it is. I got to watch this curve. All right, it is July 7th, 2025. 77527. That's interesting because I went to Dollar General to pick up a couple of things, and the change was, drum roll, 777. Go figure. So I went to I just cut my hair by myself without any assistance. Barber's on hiatus for a long time, permanently. So, you know, got to get, I got a few things I got to trim up. The bangs I left too long. He bangs. That's a little, because you know when you get to my age, you know, you're a little cautious about cutting the bangs because they don't stick around too long. But yeah, I need to thin them out a little bit. Yeah, I left them up too far. Back of the head, I got a little crazy, but it's not bad. It's fine. It'll grow back. It's free. So, yeah, I feel a lot cooler. So, who cares? I'm cool. I don't care what you say. You're cool. You're cool. You're cool. F you. You're cool. I'm out. Name that line. Name that movie. Okay, so, yeah, here we are. July 7th, 2025. No files being released. No Epstein files. You know, even though I've got truckloads of them on my desk, coming to my desk, all kinds of horrible videos. Nothing to see here. However, what are we going to do with Ghislaine Maxwell? Because she was kind of implicated in that. But if there's no crime and no list, I guess she gets to go free in her yellow submarine. So, man, there are cops everywhere. Unbelievable. All right, I guess I should put the new sticker on my plate, or maybe I should just say I'm a sovereign citizen and get taken to jail and fight the system. Whatever. We'll see what happens. All right, so big, beautiful bill passed. We've got a lot of talk about crypto. Crypto's going to go big, going to go up. All right, listen, I'm not going to talk about that much. It all goes digital. That's the way it is. Position yourself in sound digital assets. Sound money for the digital age, Litecoin. I also went to the bank today to mitigate the circumstances of the inflationary times in which we find ourselves. Bought myself I don't even, this is dangerous even trying to do it. I don't even know if I can do it one-handed. Oh, baby, right there. Jeez. Box of nickels, baby. I didn't check the price of copper today because every nickel is 75% copper and 25% nickel, which is a handy thing if you're in the medical industry. You know, you need surgical stainless steel. You need surgical stainless steel in many places. But it's 25% nickel. And at one time, those things, when the price of copper was up and nickel was up, or maybe it was nickel more so, it was about $10 a coin, or $10, I wish, 10 cents a coin when the price of those metals were up. That's the last coin in, well, not necessarily. The penny in circulation right now is about 77.007, not quite 3/4 of a penny at face value in actual metal value. But the nickel is the only thing you can walk into the bank and get, and it has metal in it that's useful in industrial uses. It will allow you to rob the bank, essentially. Right now, last time I looked, a nickel was worth about 5.5 cents, maybe a little bit more. Might be a little bit more today. I think copper might have been up. But you can go in there with a $100 bill, a Franklin, piece of cottonish paper that just happens to have 2 zeros on it instead of 1. That's the only difference between a Washington and a Benjamin. And you hand them a piece of paper, and they give you a big old box of nickels. And you walk out and it's worth about 110 bucks in metal value. Just saying, it's always going to be worth that. Now, if we have inflation and the cost of these metals and the cost of production of extracting them and demand goes up, those nickels are going to be worth a lot more. So just saying, it's something you can do. Now, do you want to store it? That's the other issue, but you always have it. You can always spend it. And you've got upside potential. So I went and invested a little bit and or stored some wealth in some nickels. Just seems the right thing to do, you know. So yeah, I'm out. I had to mail some stuff. Needed to get some envelopes. Had to, just housekeeping things. Need to get things to function. And so Westwood leaves the house, and I actually filled up the tank. I could fill it at home, but I was already there. Oh, one thing. July 1st in the great state of Illinois. 45% increase in tobacco tax. So cigarettes, chewing tobacco, anything tobacco related, 45% increase. I wasn't sure how much that meant. But I would go in there and it was probably, you could buy 2 cans of Skoal tobacco and it was about 14 bucks. So about 7 bucks a piece out the door. Now it's about 10 bucks a piece. So it's like $3 a can more. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But that's it's a good time to quit the tobacco products. You know, so cigarettes, I mean, I don't even know what they are. They're probably like 13 bucks a pack. And I know if you're living in other states, it might be more, but holy cow, what a price shock. All that does is hit low-income people, low-income consumers. But it's going to go to the schools, I'm sure, for great education, because we're getting so much smarter. So much smarter. Yeah, don't look to government to save you. They're not in the business for that, so you got to find ways to mitigate yourself out of it. And I guess I did it by buying a box of nickels. While I was at the gas station, I pulled up and this cute little old lady, she got out of her big SUV, and I'm getting out of, I'm not as big as I used to be, but for this car, got out of it. And Thorand, yes, I've got my Crown shirt on if you can see it. I got out of the car and started to walk around to pump the gas, and she says, "I love the color of your car, it's so cute." And I said, "Oh, thank you so much." And then when I left, it's, "Oh, you have a great day." It's nice, when you have good interactions with people. And, that's pretty cool. I know everybody's jealous of the Digibug. It is a pretty unique color. I think they only made 2,000 of these in that color, this color, that year. So that's kind of cool. They made another one too, a special edition, which, I think it was like, it was the color of the goldfish, Ellen, whatever it is, the Under the Sea. What the heck's the Disney movie? That gold color, goldfish color. This one's called Satellite Blue, because I'm in the stars. It's a world full of stars. Let me pull in here, roll the window down, seatbelt off. Here we go. All right, so yeah. Oh, and I also got a free water, playing the little instant game. I chose the watermelon flavored water. And it was, I looked to see what the price was regularly. It's 20 ounces flavored with watermelon, and it was $2.15. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, for water? I remember the day where I thought it was a joke, oh, we're gonna sell bottled water. Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Boy, what a big hit. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But that's where we are. Inflating the cost of water. So I should probably mow today. I really don't want to, but I need to anyway. Yeah, July is here. I think that we're going to see a lot of this money flowing through the system and going into real assets. So get your hands on real assets. Get your dang it, eyelashes. I used to have really long eyelashes. I still have them, but they're so bothersome sometimes. Get all caught up in your eye. Yeah, looking forward to it. Hey, big shout out to Tom. I shouldn't say a shout out, but big call out to Tom in Texas. He suffered through those floods, and that's horrible. Trailer got ruined, so he's going to recover from that, and I hope to see him at Westwood. He's planning on coming here in October. That's awesome. I think it'll be his first visit. Yeah. A lot of good people, and so yeah, prayers go out, for Tom, just so he can get through this. He's fine, but yeah, it's important. It's important to put that good energy out there. Make sure that he knows we're all thinking about him and sending him some of that good energy. Listen, sometimes the universe intervenes, and maybe this is just kind of a, I'm going to extrapolate this back or pull this back to myself. It happens to me a lot. When I delay things, when I procrastinate, it's one thing to slow roll. I'm good at that. I like to slow roll things, but there are other times where I'm very decisive and I take action quickly. And when I take action quickly, sometimes, it's maybe too quickly. And if I slow roll too long, it's too long. And I've always found that I'm nudged, I'm urged to do the things that I need to do when I need to do them. So if I put it off too long, something will happen to force me to do it. And sometimes that happens in life to where, You know, if you're thinking about making a decision, choosing a different path, and you procrastinate and you let it go too long, you'll kind of get forced into doing it. You know, something will happen to shake you up a little bit and put you on the right path. But for the most part, I'm pretty much the canoe rider. I'll just let it go and, you know, just kind of do what I have to do and don't worry about it too much and see where it takes me. It's always worked out. It's always worked out. When I try to force things, it doesn't necessarily work out. I can make it work out, but, you know, that's maybe the timing's a little bit off. So a lot of times it's just better to kind of chill, relax, realize you're in a canoe. That stream is taking you somewhere. You're on a journey, and enjoy every moment. Understand that, you know, you may have goals and you prepare for those. It's just like you get in the canoe and you don't have an oar. It's all right to float down the river in a canoe or the stream in a canoe, but once in a while you might need an oar. You might need something to kind of guide you, you know, when things get a little bit rough. So always be prepared, but definitely enjoy the ride. What a nice breeze just blowing in right now. It's a pretty nice day. Still the humidity. That's why I'm sweating so much. The humidity. I had to get my hair cut, you know. Yeah. So I think that's the most important thing. I got a little trip coming up. I've got several trips coming up. More so than I expected at the beginning of the year, but you know, I'm looking forward to all of them. Definitely. The destination is going to be good, and the journey is always interesting. Always something to be learned. You never know. You might meet some lady that likes the color of your car. Might like the haircut. Never know. So looking forward to that. Yeah, for a long time, I'm just like, I'm not leaving. I'm staying home. I don't want to go anywhere. You know, I'm sick of dealing with people. You know, that's attitude. It's perspective. And there's most people are really good people. I mean, they really are. Except for the people that raise taxes by 45% on tobacco products. I'm not saying it's good for you. I'm just saying, you know, come on, freedom. Where's your freedom of choice? You have the right to choose. You have the privilege to choose. You're just going to pay more for that choice. Oh, well. Is what it is. Choose wisely, I suppose. But today's a good day. This weekend was a great weekend. We had our Independence Day celebration. Everything's good. Everything's good. Watched a few things on Litecoin, the podcasts 84 Million has out there. That was a pretty good one with, I can never remember the name. Lux. The Litecoin Reserve, you know, that David Schwartz and Charlie Lee are on the board of. I can't remember what it's called. It's not Luxfolio, is it? I can't remember. See, I'm horrible. I just remember themes. I don't remember details. But yeah, I watched that, and that was really good. I tell you, there are a lot of smart people out there that understand the value of Litecoin, and they're building on it. They're doing things with it. I understand the value of it because I've used it for years. I use it all the time. Today I used it. Today I'm buying something from, you know, I'm waiting for the address, some cards by Bits. I think I retweeted it, and he creates all the little sad frog stuff and, you know, designs it anyway. And you know, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man I have on the bar and the Lester little stand-up things, all the Litecoin stuff, he creates all that. And I always make sure I pay him in Litecoin because that's important to build the ecosystem. And, you know, what's money if you don't use it? It's just stored energy. What are you storing it for? Use it. You got to use it. Not saying blow it all, because it is a long-term store of value with a finite supply. And when people wake up to the fact that it is style money for the digital age, something you can use all the time, anywhere in the world. When I'm traveling, I choose to use Litecoin. I'm not taking a hunk of silver with me. I'm not taking a box of nickels with me. That's pretty impractical. So in this modern world where we're constantly moving, I mean, gold and silver are great. They definitely are. They're great, you know, stores of value. And they're always going to be money, you know, anywhere you go. However, you got to get there to be able to use them. And that becomes the burden. When you're traveling, let's say you got to leave. Think about it. You know, you got a country at war and you're trying to get out. You know, you go to the checkpoint. And if you're trying to, and that's what happened in World War II, you know, trying to smuggle gold through your shoes and soles and in your belts and all kinds of places that you'd hide it, you know, and swallow it, you know, and pass it later, that kind of stuff. All these shenanigans that you go through. There are ways with cryptocurrency to be very portable and very fluid, and that's really the beauty of it. You can hold it in your own possession secured by its own independent network that's running around the world by multiple computers, thousands of computers. And so wherever you go, you can restore that wealth into something else or leave it in that, because it is in and of itself a useful tool. Listen, we're all digital. I stood in line waiting to get my water and other sundries, and nobody paid in cash. Nobody pays in cash. I did, but most people don't. And that's just the world we're in. We're in a digital world, and it's important to realize that and position yourself properly with sound digital assets, because they are going to be rolling you into the pseudonym for CBDCs, stablecoins. And these stablecoins are definitely programmable. They can be regulated and they can be controlled. The government will have its hand in all of it. They're the ones that are going to be sanctioning these stablecoins, because these stablecoins are the ones that are going to buy all the debt. So, yeah, they're going to have complete control over it. Hey, I got my Social Security payment today in my wallet, in USDC or whatever they're going to call it. US Phoenix, US Fed. Yeah, it probably won't be the Fed. US Walmart tokens. Yeah, right? Or, Casey's General tokens. You're going to be able to get it's all going to be programmed. It's all going to be controlled. It's all going to be monitored. It's all going to be tracked. It's all going to be, all of that stuff. It's going to have time limits on it at some point. But until then, I think what's going to happen is they're going to want people to embrace digital. So that's why the price of Bitcoin is being pumped by so many people. That's why they are talking about it all the time. I am not a big fan of Bitcoin. I think that's a Trojan horse myself. That is just a way to usher people into the system, because it's a big money grabber. It's a big sponge. And yeah, you can get wealthy at it, and so a lot of people have, but that is not a long-term viable option for me, and not even a short-term viable option, because I can't use it on a daily basis. I will not pay high transaction fees to use my energy, my wealth that I've stored up. Litecoin has never been that problem. Always under a penny to send it. Doesn't matter how much you send $1 million a penny. So, and you have privacy built into it, and all the things that are being built on top of it to just add more value to it. Plus, there's only 84 million, and 76 million plus have been mined out. So they only got 8 million more left that can be mined out. So what's out there at the price that it's at is a ridiculously undervalued price. So, you can get one Litecoin for less than this box of nickels. It's like $85 or something, $86, $6. I don't know what it is. However, when you need to use it, it's a lot easier than using that box of nickels. And it's fractional, just like those box of nickels. You can take one nickel out, you can take all of them out. With Litecoin, you can take fractions of it and send it, and it's under a penny. So very low cost to it. Never failed, been running for almost 14 years nonstop. Nonstop. Don't have to reboot it like a Windows laptop. So anyway. All right, it's a wonderful day. I just thought I'd turn on the camera and talk to you instead of talking to myself. Why not? And here I am in the Digibug, the beautiful colored Digibug, the satellite blue Digibug. All right, it's a Monday or it's a Friday. That's whatever day you want to make it. All right, hope you make it a wonderful day. Make it a wonderful day, because it's up to you to make it a wonderful day based on your outlook. All right, I love you all. Trust yourselves. You got all the tools inside of you. There's a reason why that brain's not functioning at 100%. You're only using a fraction of it. That DNA, they say you have junk DNA. I tend not to believe that. There's a lot of things that are yet activated. Yet to be activated. So activate and participate and dance with the universe, and it will reward you. All right, I love you all. Have a wonderful day.